headed the wrong way.
It's not a road course, but here's what happened. Kenny Wallace in the 78 car, this is one of the go-or-go-home cars. This was coming through 3 and 4 on his first lap. Drives it off into turn 3. Car wiggles a little bit, gets loose, he spins out. Now, he doesn't hit anything. Now, the one thing that I think could be a saving grace, but one thing, he's going to have a left front valence tore off. But notice the tires never quit turning. And that's going to be good from a standpoint. He didn't flat spot the tires, but I think what's going to kill this second lap is going to be that valence there in front of that left front tire. So what Kenny did, he's still on the clock on lap 1. He drove back around to turn 2, but he's feeling something he doesn't like. So I think this is going to be pretty much over with for the 78 car because, as I mentioned, this is a go-or-go-home car.
And it's not worth taking a chance on right now. You can see the damage already on the left front. I'm sure the car really feels unstable to him. Tires may still be flat spotted, even though he did a good job of keeping them moving. So as far as Kenny Wallace is concerned, I'd say his weekend here at Michigan is over.
Now let's talk about the procedure here. Larry, Jeff, once he stops, you see the NASCAR official there stopping him. What happens now? Can he make another attempt? They look at the tires?
No, he's already taken the green flag. It pretty much is over with, and that will be good news for Paul Menard because that will lock him into the show with Derek Cope, Travis Quapple, and Michael Waltrip.
Alan Bestwick.
And Kate.
Had to put on the red light, and Big Bro Busch is hanging on by a thread. Will his ship sail at the captain's home track? After 2 late slides, engine number 9's falling fast. Can Casey regain form at his last track conquered? Happy's on a tear, but he's got an offer in the Motor City. Will he rise to the occasion? We're getting revved up. NASCAR Raceday, built by the Home Depot, is next on Speed.
Michigan is 2 miles of wide open asphalt, and after 400 miles of racing today, the field for the championship could be narrowed. There are only 4 races before the chase is on. The heart of America's automobile industry is right up the road from Brooklyn, Michigan, the site of race number 23 of 36. Manufacturer pride is on the line, but the fine line between making the chase and being left out could be drawn today. Every fan lives for race day, and today it's yours, Michigan. Perhaps the biggest race day crowd we have ever had has joined us here outside of this huge, monstrous Michigan Oval. 2 miles of racing inside, and we are going to get you revved up to go racing on race day. Hello, everybody. I'm John Roberts. He's Jimmy Spencer. He's Kenny Wallace. And these are, several thousand of our closest Michigan friends.
You know, JR, we come here to Michigan. This is the biggest crowd I've ever seen in Michigan. Now it's rivaling Richmond. So, Richmond, you're going to have to pick it up. We'll be there in 2 or 3 weeks. But thank you guys and gals so much for coming out. It's special.
Hey, Kenny, Ryan Newman told us yesterday he loves racing on this track, not just because Roger Penske built the thing, but because it is wide open. You can run all over the racetrack, and that makes it one of the best.
JR, you couldn't have said it any better. Listen to this. We only have 4 races till the chase. Not just that, but this is the Motor City, the home of Dodge, Ford, Chevy. The groove is very wide. You can run the bottom, the middle, the top. We are excited here in Michigan because this is going to be a player. If your car doesn't handle on the bottom, go to the middle. If it don't handle up there, go to the top. If you mop that racetrack and you cannot find your race car to handle, Jimmy, you better make a pit stop. Come on.
What an awesome, awesome racetrack.
Well, folks, let's get you revved up for racing with our NASCAR Raceday setup and take a bird's eye look at this racetrack. It is 2 miles of wide open asphalt. You can run anywhere you want on this racetrack, and it is 200 laps today, 400 miles. The degree of banking in the corners is 18, and just by looking at it, you can tell there's great side-by-side racing action coming your way. Now, it was Kasey Kahne who had the pit stop at the right time, came out first. The rain came at exactly the right time, and Kasey Kahne said, got it by that much, but it doesn't matter. That was his last race win of the season. But for Kasey Kahne, trouble recently on the racetrack. At Indy, a late race wreck, smashed up that car and put him way back in the field. At Watkins Glen, another last lap incident. He goes off into the sand trap, and Kasey Kahne lost 106 points on the last 2 laps, last 2 races. Kevin Harvick was the road warrior for his first road course win at Watkins Glen, and that could be a sign of things to come because champions win on the road courses, and Kevin Harvick did it last weekend at Watkins Glen. Let's take a look at the top 3. That win propelled Harvick up into this very elite group. Mathematical possibility for Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth to clinch a spot in the chase today. And let's take a look at some of the other guys, how far they are out of this thing. Now, guys, if I can borrow my friend Kenny's word, volatile. Mark Martin could leave this race today outside of the top 10. That's how tight it is.
The thing is, we saw Kyle Busch last week make 5 laps, kept him top 5 in points. What a big turnaround for him last week.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about Greg Biffle in the 13th spot. This guy is fast all the time. The last 3 weeks, you go back to Indy, him and Robbie Gordon get into it the last lap, and then all of a sudden, him and Kyle Petty last week. He just needs a break. He's got to finish a race, and he can make a run.
Well, I also look at Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch at Indianapolis has got a really fast car. He ends up crashing that, blows the car out, crashes his primary car, does not ever rebound. Then he comes back last week at Watkins Glen, and in turn gets caught on that pit road the pit road close sign. He ends up rebounding again. And end result was he loses a tremendous amount of points, like Kasey Kahne. These guys that are sitting 11th, 12th, 13th, they can't allow this to happen any longer. They're hoping that those guys from 10th to 6th, that happens to them.
And when it comes to this manufacturer's battle here so close to Detroit, you know, it's been the Fords and the Dodges lately. Chevy's on an 11-race winless streak at this track.
Yeah, but you know what? The Chevrolets are really strong this year. It seems like Jimmy Johnson leading the points. He's probably the prime candidate of winning this championship finally, but then you got Tony Stewart in there, Jeff Gordon. Childress, what a rebound this year for the Childress organization. So I wouldn't write the Chevys off today at all.
Now, hey, what I want to know, you know, I'm just enough off-centered. We get to thinking. I just want to know. Yeah, you know I'm off-centered. I don't care. But this is crazy me. This is just off the cuff. Next year when Toyota comes, does Toyota have an office here in Detroit? I'm being very nice about it. Will this Detroit, will that be the home of Toyota?
Well, I think Toyota is a home. There's a lot of Toyota vehicles made, a lot in Texas, the trucks and things like that. So, yeah, Toyota is a part of the American scenery now. And the fans, me included, have to get used to. A lot of people drive Toyotas, and they will be racing them next week.
They want to be on top of the heap. Well, there was a lot of news off the track, a lot of news on the track so far this weekend. For all of that news, let's now bring in our friend Wendy Venturini. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, John. Kudos to the Michigan fans. That crowd looks awesome out there today. But I do want to catch you up. If you haven't watched any NASCAR programs this week, there's a lot to catch you up on. First of all, Robert Yates Racing finally made his much-anticipated announcement with the driver change. David Gilliland steps into the number 38 this weekend. Now, of course, he did have a little shaky start to the weekend in practice. 10 laps into practice, David Gilliland hit the turn 2 wall, and they will have to take out their backup car for today's race. David Gilliland to the back of the pack. Also having trouble this weekend was the 18 car of J.J. Yaley. Now, he crashed in turn 4 with his Cup car, and much later then crashed his Busch car as well. So trouble for JJ. They did fix that primary car. Do not have to go to the backup for today's race. And talk about another driver change. Elliott Sadler seeing red. Finally, he has stepped into the number 19 Dodge today with that final driver change. And as the world turns, Jeremy Mayfield sits at home today after his release from the number 19 Everham Motorsports Dodge.
Let's take a look at qualifying and see how some of these guys did in their new rides this weekend. Elliott Sadler qualified second with that Ray Evernham horsepower under the hood of that Dodge, and Elliott certainly is off to a great start. Now, David Gilliland qualified 26, but as Wendy mentioned just a moment ago, wrecked that car in practice and they rolled off the backup.
And the winner last week at Watkins Glen, we call him Happy Harvick. Why is he happy? Because look at him. He's on top, not just as he qualified 5th. The race for the chase is looking good, and he's going to run good here. The Rocket Man, Ryan Newman, qualifies 4th. Looked like he was going to get the pole, and then everybody else stepped the pace up.
Here's the guy that's sitting 3rd in the race, but the guy that's also in the top 5 in the points, one of the guys is probably going to be a serious contender for the championship, Matt Kenseth. And here's another guy, definitely a surprise to a lot of people, not to us. Childress Organization, very strong this year. Sits on the pole at Indy, comes back, sits on the pole here at Michigan. That singular Chevrolet will be tough today with Jeff Burton at the helm.
Hey, and that's thinking about Jeff Burton in qualifying. You know, he had 2 poles throughout his long and illustrious career. Up until this season, he has had 4. 10 top 10 start of 2006, 6 career poles. So he is a newly found qualifier for Jeff Burton. Doesn't really matter, though, where you start. It's where you finish. And, you know, for these guys to be starting up front, it's got to be a boost to Jeff Burton and company. 170 races since Jeff Burton's last victory. And, guys, it could come today, especially where he's starting.
Well, he has been so strong, JR. We saw him start on the pole at Indy, and he was very strong at Indy, and they lost the handle of the car. The track changed a lot. Once again today, the track changes a lot. His crew chief's going to be on our show. We're definitely going to get some questions from him. How can he get that car in the winner's circle? But, boy, he has been close this year, Kenny. Solid in the top 5 in points.
Hey, Jimmy, look, I'm a big fan of Jeff Burton. I love this story. You know, the guy hasn't won in 5 years. Richard Childress hires him. They all get going. You know, I mean, the guy's chugging along. How do you explain something like this? Jeff Burton is doing incredible things. The guy doesn't get a pole in like 5 years, and then boom, all of a sudden, how many poles? 3 or 4?
Team chemistry.
Let's take a look now at the Busch highlights, and one of the reasons, I guess, the main reason that they were in that NASCAR hauler. In case you missed this, guys, this was action at the end of the Carfax 250 for the NASCAR Busch Series race. Junior's in the middle, Carl Edwards down low, and Robbie Gordon up high driving a Dale Earnhardt-owned car. And here's what happened in the closing laps of the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. into the back of the number 60, driven by Carl Edwards with Robbie Gordon in the middle. So let's take a look on board.
There's where he gets loose. He slides up the racetrack. What Junior does is no different than what Carl would have done if he was in the same position.
All right, so Carl slides down the racetrack. That opened the door for Dale Earnhardt Jr. to go around and win the 2nd Busch race of this season. 22 career Busch Series wins for Dale Earnhardt Jr. And there's Carl Edwards on pit road. Something's going to happen.
Watch this, JR. This is not good. Now, Carl sees what's going on the racetrack. They
checkered flag is already waved.
Now, Carl's got flat tires. Here he goes speeding down pit road. Carl, this is a no-no. I want you to listen to this, fans.
Goes up and hits Junior.
We have another picture of this.
We're going to listen. This is where we need to listen.
That is a serious hit. Now, Junior gets out of the car and the fans boo him.
When's the last time you heard that? Dale Earnhardt Jr. being booed. But now here comes Carl, and here's where you know the trouble really started, Jimmy.
Well, now he grabs his fire suit. That is a no-no. First of all, he's not supposed to be in the winner's circle. I'm going to defend Carl all I can, but Kenny's not supposed to be there.
Now, Steve, did you see Junior's face? He thought everything was cool, and then when he had that running right there at the end, Junior says, okay, this is a serious issue. He did not know Carl would be that upset. Carl sometimes gets in the back of people. So this was a very controversial situation. Junior coming out of the Busch Series hauler.
Well, the thing is that I always look at each side of it. Yes, Carl needed to be upset for what happened, but yet on the other side of it, if Carl was in that car and Junior was in the other car and the same thing happened, then Junior's going to be upset. It's racing. It's what makes it so exciting. But what you do after the fact is what really affects you. What Carl did on pit road, what Carl did going in the winner's circle, not good.
And that view from inside of Dale Jr.'s car really told everything because he had his hand hanging out of the car, said it scared the absolute heck out of him to have your arm outside the car and get hit with that velocity. Like, see how it scared him? He jumped up in the air.
I had heard rumors, I had heard talk today that Carl was not going to be able to listen. That's incredible. I heard some stuff today in the garage area this morning. I was talking to some NASCAR. Is there any truth that they wouldn't let him race today? No, that's not going to happen. But they are going to look at what happened this weekend and adjust it, and they'll let us know Tuesday what implications they give to Carl. But you know what? Carl, he had every right to get hot. But then you have to control your temper. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I did not control my temper in the past, and it bit me in the butt.
Kenny, here's what was said. Let me paraphrase and use the proper language as to what was said in Victory Lane.
I'm listening.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was celebrating the win. Carl came in and said, man, you wrecked me. Junior said, no, you're crazy. I didn't wreck you. You got loose and I got in the back of you. Now, that in and of itself might have been okay, but where do you think that Carl Edwards crossed the line?
Well, first of all, Carl crossed the line by going to Victory Lane. Carl crossed the line by running on the racetrack and hitting him. Let me throw a disclaimer at her. You know, Carl's from Missouri. Okay, I love the guy, but Carl, this is a bad deal. You should have took lessons 10 years ago from the late, great Dale Earnhardt. Let me tell you right here on NASCAR Raceday what Carl,
Here's where it gets worse, Kenny. Here's where it gets worse.
Here we go. Okay, let's watch.
When he grabs his uniform is what's really bad, guys.
Watch a Junior's face. This is what I want everybody to see. Watch.
Not good.
Okay, now hold on. Watch when Junior turns around. Look at the serious look in his face. Hold on. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Look at his face. See how bummed out he was? At this point, Junior knows this is devastation. Here's what I say, though. The late, great Dale Earnhardt taught all of us something. He taught Jimmy Spencer and taught me something. If somebody gets into you and you have a beef with it, don't say a word. What you do is you go back and take them out a couple races later when everybody's forgot about it. Let me tell you something. That's right. That's right. And let me tell you what.
I've never done that in my life.
Hey. Dale Earnhardt was the man. The reason all these fans love Dale Earnhardt, because he never whined to complain. What he did,
he raced.
He got you back. So what I say is, Carl, if you have a problem with it, look, me and you's tight, but you got in trouble at Daytona. Now you're in trouble here. Next time, don't even say a word. Just wreck the heck out of him 2 races later.
Okay, but he did say a word, Kenny. He did say a little bit more than a word in the winner's circle in Victory Lane. So what, if anything, guys, do you think NASCAR should do about this?
I think NASCAR, naturally, they talked to the 2 guys today that were involved, Junior and Carl, and, you know, cooler heads prevail. Carl knows he was wrong, and I'm sure he's apologizing, which he should, and he will. And you got to realize when you're in a situation of being able to win a race. I remember Michael Waltrip having a shot at winning Daytona in the Busch race, and Jason Leffler took him out. Michael handled it really, really well. But the thing is, it's so daggone hard to win a race. And Carl has a shot at winning a race, and he knows what happens, but he has every right to get mad. But NASCAR has to address the temper issue. And they will, and Carl will race today, and I believe Carl is going to have a good day.
Well, you know, Carl is a competitor, but so is Dale Earnhardt Jr. I can tell you, okay, me and Jimmy Spencer, we've raced race cars. I raced yesterday. If I'm running second and we're fighting for the lead and there's somebody on the inside of you, I'm not letting off the gas, race fans. Remember, for all these years, your crew chiefs into your spotters into, they're telling you, go on it, go on it. Hey, Dale Earnhardt Jr. did exactly what Carl Edwards would have done. Why in the world would you let off the gas? You know?
Hey, Kenny, I'm meeting Brett Favre, and earlier this month, he took a trip to Green Bay Packers training camp.
Game time. Let's go. We in here. We gon' get it started again. We gon' get it poppin' again.
So Matt, tell us the reason for being out here. Obviously a big football fan.
Well, I mean, I've always been a Green Bay Packer fan growing up in Wisconsin. I've always followed it. Seems as the years go by, I've become a bigger fan. What do you think? Think I could do it?
I don't think you can keep up with these guys.
My hands aren't big
Too short, your hands are too small.
You know the significance of the red jersey?
Not supposed to hit somebody,
Not
right?
supposed
With
to
red
hit
jersey.
him. You think the 24 car knows that? You are not allowed to get hit.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
After watching the Chicago race?
I got to know a few of the guys up here, you know, that are race fans interested in racing and have been to a few races, and they know I'm a big Packers fan, so we kind of had something in common.
My hat's off to you guys. You guys are superb. You know what? I have no idea how you guys climbed in those cars. I'm so glad Terry Bradshaw didn't see this because, man, I got stuck.
Did you?
Did you?
Wonderful to have Matt up here representing the state of Wisconsin. He's probably the biggest thing right now in the state of Wisconsin.
I think Brett Favre's still the biggest thing in the Packers in Wisconsin. You look up football in the dictionary, you see a picture of Brett Favre. You know, he's kind of old school. He works hard at it. He loves the game, and you know, it's pretty cool whenever you get to talk to him at all. How's it going to be this year?
Who else?
Yeah. I was nervous watching
Saturday night.
Yeah, I was watching on your back a bunch. I didn't like that. Just talking to Brett, it kind of seems like it's a little bit of a rebuilding process, and hopefully it'll be a great year.
There's more talent than I've seen in a long time.
Really?
But how long before they get it is the question.
They started the chase because of you.
Yeah, we had a pretty good year that year. We got a long ways in the front, so we tightened it up a little bit.
Kind of know what you're talking about, huh?
This has been launching just a little bit.
Y'all feisty, boy. If y'all get bumped,
Get a little worked up every
oh
now
yeah. When y'all get to the fence line, it's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Somebody just got in a fight. Like
Probably was Tony Stewart.
Yeah, with somebody, yeah.
He provoked somebody.
Yeah. My day was really fun. It's always cool to catch up with some of the players I was on to meet. Mike Green and Sam Cangado, that was pretty cool. And to see Power out here was pretty neat. So it was fun to see them prepare and how they practice.
All right, that is a dream for any cheesehead to get a chance to go in Green Bay Packers training camp. And you know what? It is also good to see that some of the guys in the other professional sports leagues are taking a look at the Left Turn League.
I'll tell you what, I'm a St. Louis boy, and I went to the Albert Pujols Celebrity Golf Tournament last Monday in St. Louis, Missouri. Albert Pujols, all the guys on the St. Louis Cardinal ball team, they pay attention to auto racing. So auto racing
are after him. We're going to try to come get him. And but you know what? Since you're first, Kenny, that means that you get to pick first, as always, and we got to wait. We had a little bit of a discussion this morning about who gets who, but Kenny was kind.
Well, I am going to tell you right now who I am going to pick for today's race. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Batesville, Arkansas, let's give it up for Mark the Kid Martin. Mark Martin will win today's race. Why? Because he works to his knees. This guy puts everything he has into his race cars. He's on the phone every week. What kind of right front shock do I got? What kind of downforce do I got? He's working hard. He's the hardest working man in NASCAR. Mark Martin will win today's race because I say so.
Well, not only because Kenny says so, but because Roush knows a thing or two about racing this track. And so does Mark Martin with the 4 wins. But today I'm going with somewhat of a sentimental favorite. My old buddy from Virginia and a guy who I could listen to talk all day long. Elliott Sadler is behind the wheel of a new car. He is fired up. He knows how to drive on these type of racetracks. And he said, car was awesome.
Hey, did the bandwagon just roll through and you just
Hey, I'm on
jumped
the bandwagon. I'm on the Elliott. I've been on the Elliott Sadler bandwagon for 8 years now.
My son's been called JJ. That's me now, Jimmy the Jinx. And Jimmy, it's Jimmy John. Jimmy Spencer has jinxed everybody. I don't care who I pick. I even picked Boris said last week the poor rascal gets penalized on Monday to the rear. So I don't want to pick this guy, but I have in my heart, I told my son yesterday he's going to win this race.
Who is it?
Carl Edwards. I like his, I'm telling you, I love his temper. He reminds me of somebody else. And I love that because Junior Johnson always used to tell me I can easily corral that thoroughbred. And now, Jack Rush will corral that thoroughbred and he'll unleash that power in that 99 to the winner's circle today.
That's a good pick. Smile and a back flip. If Jimmy's pick, if Jimmy doesn't,
Carl will be tough.
Carl probably will win today.
I hope so.
Well, he's fired up. At least we know that. He's fired up. And one thing that gets Jimmy Spencer fired up at a racetrack, it's free stuff. You know it. He says it all the time. And our man Rutledge, the fan of the people, shows you just how much free stuff you can get when you walk around a racetrack.
Free. That's right, a NASCAR race is free is the name of the game. Everybody wants you to try their stuff, so they're going to give it to you free. Let's see what I can get. Hey, I'm here for free stuff. What do you got?
Well, right now, all I got is coupons in here, but we do have free Fudge brownies.
I'll take it. Hey, I'm here about the brownies.
You gotta have one of our brownies.
Okay. Everything's free here. Hi, I'm here about the brownies. Have you done that before?
What?
You work at a pizza place?
What? All right, one more.
Thanks. They're free. You can eat all you want. I know this stuff's gotta be free. So where's all the free stuff? What do you guys have for free?
Nothing.
I need to get some free quit smoking counseling. Wow, free samples.
You don't smoke.
No, but I'd like to quit. I could really use some gum. Hey, good news. I just talked to that guy, Chuck, that's in charge, and he said that I could take over your bag and help you hand out some stuff.
You want the whole bag?
Yeah.
Well, you can't have my whole bag. Hi, I'm having a great time.
Hey, look, there's Dale Jr. No, they gave me the bag. They gave me the bag. Wax. And hand lotion? Go! Go! Here, try this.
Now, Rutledge, you know female rules. You don't go up to a woman and say, here's some skin cream.
Hold on. Hey, Krista, I got you something. Here, try this. It's Performance Finish Wax for your car.
Now this is something I can use.
Yeah! Free concert! I'm pretty sure it's not free or sanitary, but I really want to put my mouth underneath the lemonade thing. That's really good. Try the lemonade. It's delicious. Hey, can I get one of those free hats?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, look at that, free hat. It's my wife's birthday. I got her all this good stuff. And honey, I saved us a lot of money because it was all free. Free! Woo!
Now here's the real question. We certainly hope Rutledge didn't pay anything for that shirt he had on. Hope that was free too. Hey, bring in the brownies. We got more free stuff. Spencer, thank you, Danielle.
Hey, these
Those look
this
good,
reminds me
man.
of Austin Powers movie. Get in my belly.
Hey, here's something for you, Jimmy. Look at the brownie.
Hey, Booty.
Hey, Brownie.
Brownie. You're in there working, worrying about grilling, and look what these Domino's people are bringing me here. Chocolate brownies.
As much Mountain Dew as I drink, I figured they'd send me some Mountain Dew. Come on.
All right, so Kenny's all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Jimmy's going to enjoy some sugar in the form of brownies, and we got to take a break before we come back and get you ready for more racing at Michigan International Speedway. How about a few M&Ms? David Gilliland's coming up. He's got some free stuff for you.
Well, welcome aboard my State Farm car here at MIS. I'll tell you what, this is really one of the favorite racetracks for all the Nextel Cup drivers. This is such a cool racetrack, and I'll show you why. First of all, it's fast. We all like fast racetracks. Second of all, it's smooth. Really glass smooth. It's very comfortable to drive. But mainly, you get into these corners, and it's wide. You'll see guys on the bottom, in the middle. You'll see guys right up against the wall, tucked up, really working that high line. There's a lot of drafting at this racetrack. You'll see the guys going down the straightaway, and you'll see 10, 12 cars in line. You do pick up a little bit of a draft. That's real important because this race also gets into a situation where fuel mileage is very important. Now, as the race goes on, you'll see this high line really get worked in. You'll see guys coming in up high. You can really drive the car deep here. You don't want a car that's loose in because you're carrying so much speed into these corners. So you want to be able to get down the straightaway, a $180, a $190. You want to start turning the wheel when you're still on the gas. Then you want to get off the throttle, let the car roll. Just set the brake a little bit, then start picking up the gas. And you got all this racetrack to work with to drift up. Like I said, it's not a very difficult racetrack to drive, but for the Nextel Cup drivers, it's a favorite among many of them.
You had a good time out there, didn't you?
I did. I mean, this is a fun racetrack to drive, and you'll see a lot of these guys having a lot of fun today.
Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, the proud sponsor of the Budweiser Pole Award, given to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Nextel Cup Series race. Budweiser congratulates Jeff Burton on his 4th pole of 2006, and he'll be in the Budweiser shootout when we get to Daytona in February. The starting grid for today's there. To see the entire TNT pit map, go to NASCAR.com. On the homepage, you'll find the link for pit map. Alan talked about Jimmy Johnson, the conversation on the radio a moment ago.
Remember, this is a long race, 200 laps. 200 laps, 400 miles. We got a lot of time to recover from anything that may creep up on us. You guys have been doing a great job. Keep making me proud every week. I really appreciate it. I'd like to say hello to all the Lowe's employee owners. Thank you for all your dedication, support, and keep watching. It's getting ready to get real exciting. Jimmy, another thing, don't forget, you've got an in-car camera, 10-4.
That probably means watch your waves.
Here we go, green flag in the air. They're racing at Michigan on TNT. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, didn't I say 4 wide? Didn't take long. Tell you what, there's a couple of loose race cars there. I saw Jeff Burton got loose. I'm not sure if 48 hit the wall or not, but he was loose. Yeah, there's smoke coming out of 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
Be ready, guys. Be ready.
Championship leader with early problems. Ryan Newman from fourth to first on the opening lap.
I was just talking about it. Boy, that car just took off up the racetrack. I'm not sure if he had something break or...
Right front flat.
There you go.
Here's the onboard camera they were talking about.
Yep. Yeah, normally the car doesn't take off towards the wall like that unless you have a problem, so...
Fuel here, guys. Right side's only in fuel.
Heading for pit road, we stay under green, we go to Allen.
It's going to be a change of right side tires only, and they'll top the fuel off. Chad Knaus telling his team to watch the right front fender. He's telling Jimmy to slow down as he comes down pit road so that carcass of that flat tire doesn't come off and rip the fender off that car. We've seen this team make late rallies from early problems in races many times this year. Here comes another one today they'll have to try and pull off.
Yeah, had a tire problem at the Brickyard, and that kind of worked out for him.
Sure did. Made an amazing recovery from that. Looked like Elliott Sadler got very close to the wall that time out of 4.
Yeah, Sadler was running pretty hard against Kenseth there. All of a sudden, he's going to lose 2 or 3 spots this lap.
Newman leads down the backstretch as Johnson heads off of pit road. Gordon. Off the strong weekend at Watkins Glen. And Jimmy Johnson has currently scored 2 laps down. We'll wait for the scoring to reset, but I'm certain he'll be the lucky dog when it comes around. Wait for the field to make a lap under caution.
He's got 2 flat tires. I'm not sure if that's from holding the brakes down.
Word is that Robbie Gordon did have a tire going down, reported a tire going down. Right rear tire, the issue for Robbie Gordon. He heads to pit road. Jimmy Johnson is the lucky dog. We'll find out how lucky as the afternoon goes on.
See, I don't know. I'm not quite sure where he was talking about the air coming off the spoiler, but that thing just really shot off the racetrack like he had a tire going down.
And we know that Jeff Burton's car wasn't that good on when the green flag came out because he went backwards.
But whatever Jimmy was talking about must have happened earlier than when we picked it up.
Taking a look at our AutoZone in the zone drivers here at Michigan. Greg Biffle, we talked about it earlier, the 4 straight top 10 finishes, including a couple of wins. And Biffle and Edwards both need strong days here at Michigan and the next 3 weeks if they hope to make the jump. Look back in the field.
Cleaver and
40 car of David Stremme.
Stremme in trouble. Todd Cleaver had a little damage there as well. Not as much as that car.
The right front has been on the wall.
Our second caution.
See David right in the middle. There's Cleaver right in front of him. Cleaver may get run into. It looks like Bobby Labonte ran into Cleaver. I don't know who was that on the outside that he ran into.
The 49.
Yeah, Bobby Labonte just pushed up the racetrack into those guys. Kind of set things off.
We can go on board with Stremme.
Watch the 43 car. Boom. That's just a chain reaction. Wrong place at the wrong time sometimes.
We got a piece of that there, boys.
Robbie Gordon is the lucky dog. You know, when you talked about this track is wide and is flat and is fun to drive, but sometimes it's just not wide enough, is it?
Yeah, when you get three abreast or four abreast and you lose the air on your car, you're going to slide into somebody. And that's what we saw there with Bobby Labonte in the 43 car.
Has been a learning experience in 2006 for David Stremme. He sits on pit road while the crew works on his car. Now, half the field has already been to pit road. The question is, are the leaders content? Some are. Most are.
Because normally when you're in traffic and the car is loose, you want to get away from these other cars. Is that what he's saying, Alan?
No, well, he just called in. Well, that's the problem, yes. But he also just called in on the radio, said he thinks they might have broken a valve or something.
Okay.
Something wrong under the hood of Jeff Burton's car.
And it looks like Biffle's feeling out his car as well on that 16 ride. Junior on the outside there.
Yeah, Jeff Burton's down on the apron now, and probably expect to see him hit pit lane, and man, they're racing all over the place.
Jeff called in, said he was going to shut it down. They were going to bring it down pit road, have a look at it. You'll see the hood go up on this car, and the Richard Childress team will try and see if it's something they can fix. Although Jeff Burton is fourth in the championship, he does not believe his place in the chase is safe going into these 4 races. They do not want to have a DNF, a race where they do not finish here today. They're continuing to look under their hood, and I'll get your report as soon as they have a few more details.
Thanks, Alan.
Dale Jr. picked up that spot from Kyle Busch, and he's running that high line we talked about. He's already out.
Hold the brake.
Car just got loose. He was underneath the guy, and you're turning the wheel hard to the left, and your car's free anyway, and he just got away from him.
Fix the balance, guys.
A lot of rain here yesterday. Make sure Harvick can get out of that grass.
Got a lot of damage to that left front. They're going to have to do some work on that, because that's going to make a big difference aerodynamically here at Michigan. You've got to have that right. See, he's underneath the 17 car, and you're turning the wheel and you're on the gas. You're trying to get on the gas as hard as you can, and you're still turning the wheel, and the rear just comes around on you. And you'll see that a lot here. I mean, this is just one of those places where you're on the edge all the time anyway. Fortunately, he didn't hit the wall, but he did do some damage there to the left front when he hit that grass.
Now, go ahead.
I was just going to say, take a ride with Junior. You see him way down on the bottom there. And you're pinching the car right there at that point of the racetrack. But you're trying to make a pass, so you're in the gas. Car just broke loose. We saw a lot of cars yesterday in the Busch race that were loose, and normally this racetrack gets tight. Your car gets tight here, but there was a lot more cars that were loose yesterday than normal, I think.
Engine guys, just looked over your engine, Jeff. Any idea exactly what broke?
I don't really know, but I didn't think we'd get it back out. That's a shame. Our engine guys have done a great job, and that reliability has been incredible. And then today it got us. You know, it gets everybody all the time, and today was our turn. But we won't use this as an excuse. We have 3 races to get our business done, and we're going to go get it done.
Almost like a football coach, you pulled all your guys together in a huddle. What did you tell them?
Well, I just wanted to remind everybody that this was a good race team, and you know, this happens to everybody, and today was our turn, and you know, we're not going to get down about this. This is nobody's fault. We all do this together. I wreck race cars. We break engines. We do stuff from time to time, and we'll just keep fighting, and you know, we'll come back and try to win some races.
Start of the day, top 5 in the championship standings, 3 to go.
And the caution is out. And Kyle Busch, another driver in the top 10 in the championship standings, having an issue here in the first 41 laps. Alan?
Bill, the lap before, Kyle had called in on the radio, said he had bounced off the wall off of turn number 4, or in between 3 and 4, said they had a tire rub. The spotter, Jeff Dickerson, called that down. Then that happened before he even came all the way back around.
And now he tries to limp back to pit road, Alan.
Yeah, and the right front fender is already destroyed.
We'll take a look. Watch the right-hand side of your screen as we go to the replay.
Yeah, that definitely had a tire go down right there. That was the second hit, I presume.
David Stremme is the lucky dog. Kyle Busch, very unlucky, right to the garage. So let's see. Jimmy Johnson had the early issue. He's come back to get on the lead lap. Matt Kenseth has been strong from the start. Kevin Harvick had the problem coming off of 4. Jeff Burton is out of the race. And Kyle Busch in the garage now after contact with the wall.
Rear, I'm not sure if he didn't tag the wall. Yes, he did.
Right in front, right there.
Lost a car in practice here earlier in the weekend. Now he's been in the wall. The caution is out for debris. This will be our 5th caution period of the day. And weren't we talking about long green flag runs here?
That was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. This is on board with Stremme.
It looks like the right rear started smoking. I wasn't sure if it was the right front or right rear, but the car started smoking, so it looked like maybe he had a tire going down, Dave.
Well, not sure on that, Wally, but they have been playing around with that car a lot. Remember, David is a raw rookie in a Nextel Cup car, and as you mentioned, crashed a car in practice. They just made a big change with spring rubbers and track bar adjustments. They were really trying to find the handle for David.
Yeah, but there was smoke coming out of the car before he hit the wall, so something did break or something let go before he hit the wall, because there's definitely smoke pouring off it.
And that tire just let go. It did even more damage to the car. So a tough start for him with Robert Yates Racing, but he's got veteran crew chief Todd Parrott calling the signals for him, and they decided they're going to let David run all 14 races remaining this season, get them all in, not worry about the Rookie of the Year honors next season. They want to get him seat time, get him as much experience as possible, and start fresh and hopefully strong in 2007 in the Daytona 500. So the M&M's guys go to work on that Ford Fusion on pit road. Pit road will be open this time. Most of the guys were just there.
Just set it off.
I wouldn't think too many guys are going to come in on this deal.
Well, some guys in the back may top off with fuel. We'll keep an eye on that. Casey Mears is the first guy to dive onto pit road. We'll update the running order when we come back to Michigan. You're watching NASCAR live on TV. The archives for this one, our old buddy, Benny Parsons. Local boy makes good. Benny won here in June of 1980. Held off, let's see, it was Cale Yarborough over the final 50 laps. Got himself a hometown win, our Wrangler 5-star finish. And Benny not with us today, feeling a little under the weather. But we know he's watching at home, and BP, we're thinking for debris on the front stretch.
Debris on the track.
Boy, caution number 6.
Who was saying this thing goes green along?
I don't know, some announcer guy.
I don't know what that is rolling around there.
But I wouldn't want
somebody's going to run over it. Oh.
Boy, when you look at Kurt Busch's car, and even though he's running 6th, you know,
yeah.
Is he going to come in and try and work on that, or is he going to try and drive through it? Because it doesn't look like it's handling very well. He's lost, I mean, had the lead just a couple of laps ago.
I guess if it's bad enough, I mean, obviously, yeah, if the car's really not handling, it's bad enough, you've got to make that call, whether, you know, go ahead and get it fixed now.
And this is the strategy that Alan was telling us Jimmy Johnson was hoping for.
Yeah.
That the caution would come out and that the front runners will come to pit road. The caution may have come too soon. We'll see as they come off of turn 4.
You want to just leave it like it is? You want to take a half pound out of the race front and drop the track bar around?
Sounds like they're
I
coming.
need to do something to the right rear to calm it down a little bit this run.
I think everybody's going to come on this one.
If they split, come on.
Well, Carl Edwards and Jeff Gordon stay out, and so does Casey Kane.
But everybody else came.
Yep. Well, now we'll have 3 different strategies at work. Marty.
Well, Bill Kurbush really wanted to come to pit road. He said, I cannot race these guys. My car is way too loose getting into the corner. I just have no rear grip on this thing. They're going to go down 1 round on the track bar, trying to help them out a little bit, trying to be able to keep up with that 9 and those guys who are in front of them, and he'll have these 4 fresh tires. Two tires, rather, Dave.
Greg Biffle already gone. 2 right side tires, chassis adjustment for a tight race car.
And Jimmy Johnson also using this opportunity to pit. You see him there, the first car on the right-hand side of your screen, the Lowe's Chevrolet. So they continue to work on that car after he had troubles on the opening lap.
He's going to take 4.
Oh, we said it'd be a chess match, and it certainly is right now. Carl Edwards and Jeff Gordon staying out.
I'm running hot out here. Help's on the way, Streamy. The yellow flag? Nope, the silver bullet.
Feel the heat of racing. Taste the cold of Coors Light.
And here's why. It involves Kurt Busch in the 2.
Yeah, look up high. Not sure what's going on there. If he had a right rear tire going down, or I mean, he was awfully high, but it didn't look like he was so high he was in the marbles. But don't know.
Pit road is open, and we're going to see some more stops, Alan. Oh, let's start with Matt.
And Tate Probst already makes a chassis adjustment. The car not good on entry for Casey. Also possible air pressure changer, throwing it back and forth. AB.
Carl Edwards in his team, along with Jeff Gordon's team, both kind of in the same spot. Because of when they pitted under the green, they had to come in here and take fuel in order to make it to the finish on one more stop. They do expect to lose some track position by not everyone stopping. Jeff Gordon's car getting 4 tires and a track bar adjustment. You saw the Carl Edwards 4-tire stop as well, and it looks like Gordon is going to barely win that squeaker off
Busch. One of the guys on the outside looking in.
Ooh, Junior had to check up here a little bit. That may have been enough for Kenseth to make this pass. He had a good run on the 12 car, but he had nowhere to pass him. And that was just lost that little bit of momentum. Was see if Kenseth can make it happen.
Come on down, sir. Come on.
Got the caution out.
Caution is out. And Matt Kenseth will be scored as the race leader.
Oh, I believe he hit the wall, but again, since we talked last.
To the garage, guys.
Yeah.
To the garage.
How about to the truck?
Yeah. Harlan.
Well, he said it was a handful.
Yeah, something definitely broke and went down there. Wow. Just finishing it off there.
It has been a difficult season for him. They had very high hopes for the former series champion. Getting in that 2 car, driving for Roger Penske, moving Roy McCauley to crew chief. His Penske teammate Ryan Newman is the lucky dog. There's Kenseth, the race leader. Earnhardt Jr. is second. Tony Stewart in third. Then Clint Boyer and Jimmy Johnson. Okay, some guys stopped not that long ago. Pit road will be open.
I think pit road will be very busy. Boy, this is getting real close to that pit window we talked about earlier.
Somebody's going to try it now for sure.
Absolutely. Come in and top it off right before they go back green.
There's the debris on the apron right by the start-finish line. Scott Riggs is the lucky dog, and McMurray also back on the lead lap. And that will put 30 cars on the lead lap. Wow. 59 to go when they cross the line this time. Alan, you busy?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, but go ahead, I'll help.
Well, we were talking fuel mileage before we came on the air today, and you came up with some numbers that were pretty good.
I heard some people talking they could go as many as 52 laps on the last run of this race, Bill. What lap are we at now?
We're on 141, 59 to go.
Now, there are some people who think they may be able to go as far as 55 laps.
That's the number that's an eye-opener, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you come in now and you pack the car full of fuel, do you get enough caution laps where you can make it to the finish? I thought I heard Wally say it a minute ago while I was chatting with the crew chief. Somebody's going to try it, right?
Yep, you're right.
Somebody's going to try it for sure. And I think what you got to do is you got to wait till the last possible moment. You know, when they get the one to go, you need to duck down pit row, top it off there.
Matt, you got something on Casey?
Well, Bill, a lot of conversation back and forth between he and Kenny Francis, and basically talking about the fact that they're about 10 laps shy of their window. throwing around the possibility of just staying out for track position, and then when they get a little closer and get in within that window, then make their stop and their final adjustment.
Thank you, sir. This is the 9th caution of the race. That ties the record here at Michigan. And I'll tell you,
I guess you'd have to stay. I mean, if you can't make it, you have to stay out.
Well, we're about to find out. Riggs. Up. I think there are some takers. See how it plays out. You're going to come back in and top off before they go back to green. Be fun to watch.
Charger RT, Magnum RT.
Nice move, Jack.
Heavy power makes anything possible. Get employee pricing plus our 30-day return program on Dodge Charger and Magnum. If not satisfied, somebody can resist free warm brownies from Domino's. Get 10 warm, delicious oven-baked brownie squares free when you buy any large pizza at menu price.
J.J. Yaley. And this
is 3
changes everything.
Well,
yes, this is his third
car
visit to the wall. Yes.
He can't wait to come back next year.
Okay, we'll go on board with Stremme, see what we can see. Well, Stremme's the lucky dog in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Boy. Tough weekend at Michigan for JJ. But I think the fuel strategy thing has changed. Because just about everybody will make a visit now, don't you think?
I don't know. These guys were close to begin with.
Okay.
The yellows help. I don't know. I mean, whatever Matt does,
yeah,
everybody else will do the opposite.
Let's take a look at our All-State Good Hands driver. How about Dale Earnhardt Jr.? I'm going fast. I'm going fast. Oh, man. It's like riding with Wally on the way to the airport. Didn't hit him. Watch Carl go by. There we go. Allstate, the official insurance sponsor of NASCAR, and Earnhardt gets our Allstate Good Hands Driver Award. On board with Dale Jr.
2 tires and fuel.
That what you're doing?
That's what I would do.
Taking 4.
You sissy.
I'm taking 4.
And then it's going to put you in the back. You're going to be stuck in traffic.
Because I think
wait on the gas, Russ. Let's go like hell here.
It's Robbie Reiser, Kenseth's crew chief. Time for our pit guys to go to work. Here they come. Matt.
And a lot of conversation, Bill, just about whether to make any adjustments at all. As you see the 9 of Casey Kane peel off to a stop. He said just bolt 4 tires on it and let's go. He says the car just way too free to run the bottom. Absolutely no side bite. Marty, that's why you've seen him go back to the high side.
What a break for the leader, Matt Kenseth, who is 2 laps away from a green flag pit stop and giving up all that track position. No front grip. They make air pressure adjustments to fix that. Dave?
Tony Stewart's car too tight in the middle of the corner. Track bar, air pressure out of the right front. He's gone. Allen.
A 4-tire change here for Carl Edwards. Going to fill it up with fuel. They made a small adjustment to the car. Let's see how things sort out off of pit road.
Well, it was a dash off of pit road. We'll have to sort out the running order and the different strategies coming into play when we come back to Michigan with just 39.
Front is flat.
If he can get to the apron and slow down and keep that tire together, we should be able to stay under green.
Pick up on the rear bumper.
Left rear is flat as well. He's got a big old wheel mark in the side of the car.
So Truex tries to nurse it back to pit road. There's the race leader, Matt Kenseth. This is the 28th Cup race for Jeff Gordon here at Michigan. He's heading for his 15th top 5 finish. This is a strong run for them because, you know, this is the type of track they have struggled on, as Jeff talked about earlier in the race. And you were talking about the championship standings. Jeff Burton came in 4th. He has fallen to 9th.
Wow. Earnhardt Jr. now runs in the 7th position. Now, Reed Sorensen is in 9th right now.
Marty on race leader Matt Kenseth.
Bill, I was going to ask Wally, you ever have a favorite race car, Wally?
Yeah.
That you just loved?
Yep.
Well, this is Matt Kenseth's favorite race car. When it was wrecked after Chicago, when Jeff Gordon got into him, they literally spent a month getting the car ready for this race. It took a whole new body, a new front clip, a new rear clip. It's been to the wind tunnel twice. It's been on the chassis dyno 3 times. Give credit to the 17 bunch for spending all the time getting this car ready. Clearly, they got it fixed. It's just as good as it was before. It has 1 win and 2 seconds, looking for its 2nd win this year. Alan?
But Jeff Gordon came into this race 9th in the championship, very much on the bubble for making the chase for the Nextel Cup. He said entering this weekend, we've been putting up a pretty good fight, but that fight has been for 12th to 15th place finishes. We need to make that fight for top 5 finishes. I'm hoping we can step it up and turn things around here. Well, his team has done that so far today. If things hold as they are now, Gordon with a top 5 and some much needed points heading down the road to Richmond.
Thanks, Alan. 2 to go. Clint Foyer off the pace.
Yeah, a lot of smoke coming from that car. He was in the 3rd position with just a couple laps to go. What a bummer. And he's going to the garage. I wonder if they have an engine problem in that car as well. Teammate did.
Yep, Jeff Burton, 42nd today. That's 5th place up there. Mark Martin, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Meanwhile, Matt Kenseth
Flag this time, white flag.
takes the
Clear
white
back
flag. Last lap at Michigan. Gordon is close to within 0.8 of a second. Does look a little like Chicago, doesn't it?
I don't think you're going to have the same outcome as in Chicago, though.
Clear by 10.
This is a strong performance for Matt Kenseth and that Robbie Reiser-led team. 2nd in the championship standings right now, just 58 points behind Jimmy Johnson. Matt started working on cars when he was 13 along with his dad. Started racing at 16. He already has one Nextel Cup championship, trying to get another, trying to make the chase for the championship. Matt Kenseth wins at Michigan.
Good job, guys. I thought I was going to blow it again. I was getting so tight. Good job.
Stewart 3rd.
Oh, look at the race. Oh, Mark Martin, I think, just beat Earnhardt to the line for 5th.
Every point, baby.
Hey.
Every point.
Got it.
Elliott Sadler 10th. Momentum.
Yeah, that's a great start.
So Kane is 4th. Sadler is 10th. And Scott Riggs 14th. All 3 Evernham cars with a top 15 finish. Here's Marty.
Well, what a day for the 17 crew. They were 1 lap from having to make a green flag pit stop in the middle of this race. You're getting some congratulations. All that work that went into this car over the last month paid off, didn't it, Rob?
Well, it says a lot for the guys that work back at the shop and build the engines and build the cars. I mean, to have a car get wrecked that bad and bring it back to your first time back and run as well as we did, it says a lot for everybody that works in these race cars and this race team.
You having flashbacks to Chicago when the 24 was catching you?
Well, I think Matt was probably having flashbacks, and he was probably, he was saving that car for the end. I think, we were waiting for that green-white checker that always seems to come out mysteriously. So, great job to Matt and everybody here.
No overtime today. Matt Kenseth wins in Michigan.
This car was so bad here on Friday when they were lined up for qualifying and the weather was gloomy. His guys were doing a rain dance on pit road, hoping qualifying would get rained out so we'd have a good qualifying spot. Then Matt went out and qualified 3rd and won the race. And we've talked about it before, but that's an extremely close-knit team. And it's not just the 7 guys over the wall or the guys here at the racetrack. It's the entire organization. It's Katie, his wife. fans cheering for Matt Kenseth. You know his dad Roy, mom Nikki are watching. I'll tell you, you get into the chase, you're going to have to beat him. Post-race interviews. Let's start with Dave.
And Jeff Gordon chasing down Matt Kenseth there at the end. Jeff, suffice it to say, this was the good day you guys needed.
It certainly was. What a great fight, and some great adjustments there in that last pit stop. We were up there battling with Edwards, having a lot of fun, and we just were out of sync. And unfortunately, the caution came at the wrong time, which has been happening to us a lot lately. But what a rebound by this race team. I mean, they've been just putting up such a great fight all year long, and I just couldn't be more proud of Steve and all the guys. I told them what the car was doing. We were struggling in traffic, and they tuned this DuPont Chevrolet right up, and we just drove to the front. I wish we had a few more laps. I was catching Matt. And
how many more, Jeff?
Maybe 3 more. We would have got to his bumper. I don't know if we could have gotten by him, but I would like to show him and everybody else I know how to pass him clean. But hey, congratulations to him. He drove a great race, and I couldn't be more proud of this team on this day with this second place finish. And that was a good points day for us.
It was unofficially from 9th to 6th, Marty.
Dave, from 33rd to 3rd for Tony Stewart, and what an impressive run considering where this day started for these guys. How did you work your way through all that traffic, Tony?
Did my job.
You did a good job then.
That's what the Home Depot and the Home Depot racing team expects of me. I mean, we just, Zippy and all these guys did an awesome job today. We had a really tight car at the beginning and just kept working with it and kept making adjustments, and we just battled our way through. So, the pit strategy at the beginning of the race really separated a bunch of people, kind of got 2 different groups going, and that kind of helped us get up there too. It wasn't like we had to just passed 33 cars on the racetrack, so that helped a lot.
And in terms of the championship, too, another solid day for the 20 team. Matt?
And back in the garage, Marty, Jimmy Johnson, you're looking over your car. Looks more like it went to Martinsville than a day at Michigan. But what a rebound for you and this team.
It is. These guys, I think every week, not only impress myself and Hendrick Motorsports, these guys just never stop. It's truly amazing. And I really felt like we were in for a top 5 once we got everything back and going. But unfortunately, there at the end, I got way too loose and just lost a lot of spots for those Monte Carlo. But still a good day. I hate that deal at the beginning. The 31 was inside of me, and something with him kind of wiggling and coming up behind me dramatically changed the airflow on my car, and it just made my car tight and shot me straight at the wall, and I got in the wall early. So just kind of one of those days, but we bounced back and finished well.
Finishes 12th or 13th, unofficially still has a 58-point lead in the championship standings. Alan?
In victory lane, where Matt Kenseth is about to exit his very hot race car. And just so we set the record straight, here's a guy drove a 400-mile race all day, perfectly fine, and he scratched himself taking his helmet off. Congratulations on your 3rd win of the year. When Jeff Gordon was closing on you in those last 20 laps, what were you thinking?
I was hoping he didn't catch me. I did have flashbacks to Chicago and even Las Vegas, where Jimmy beat me at then. So I just we were a little too tight that run. I just tried to really back up the corner and not use up the front tires. Vegas, I ran the front tires off, and I really did at Bristol too, and Chicago we were too tight. So I just decided to go slow and begin the run, save what I could for the end, and thankfully we had just enough.
When you came down pit road, when you stayed on the racetrack rather at lap 131, and everybody else came down pit road, did you think your chance to win was done?
I didn't know. I knew everybody had to pit one more time, and earlier in the race, everybody was on old tires, and that was actually our fastest run, like on 10-lap tires. So I gave Robbie so much crap all week for our pit strategy at Watkins Glen. I'm glad it worked out today. He did a great job of, after we ran a few laps, we really went out there, if not pitting the next lap, but just sticking with it and saying, no, we're only going to pit one more time. So he did a great job. And real quick, I got to thank DeWalt and Ford Fusion, USG Sheetrock, R&L Carriers, Carhartt, and G Silicone. And we just got great partners on this car. I'm just so proud to be part of this team.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Matt Kenseth wins today at Michigan. Marty?
Helen Dillon Hart Jr. finishes 6th, and walk me through the middle part of that race after that pit stop.
Well, we were really good at the start. One of the best cars, I thought. We led a lot of laps, which was a lot of fun. Good to run like that on a track like this in front of these fans, so in front of the Chevy crowd. So we made a mistake on pit road. I don't really know what it is or what happened, but it cost us a lot of points, and we came out 20th or something like that. It's tough for me to rebound after that. we tried, but we got up to 6th or 7th or whatever.
I know you had fun battling with Mark Martin as well at the end.
Mark's a legend. I got the utmost respect for him. Watched him and my daddy run a lot of races together, and when I can be on the racetrack with him and trying to catch him at the end for a position, that's a great scenario for a guy like myself. Just watched him race for so many years.
He's praising you over here, Mark, about that fun battle to the end.
Yeah, about 3 more feet, 1 more lap.
Who was going to get it?
I don't like running high, but I knew if I wanted to stay in front of him, I was going to have to make him pass on the bottom. So I was going to force him to the bottom.
That's as much fun as anything, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, Mark's a great driver and one of the best the sport's ever seen. And whenever you can get on the track and race with him, it's something you should always cherish and remember. And I don't get to do it often, but it's a lot of fun. It's somehow, a lot of fun.
There's only 200 laps, a handshake there at the end. Mark Martin finishes 5th, Dale Jr. 6th.